Mr. Secretary, do you believe that all Americans should follow our tax laws?
Yes, Congressman.
Yes, good. So do I. And do you believe that for those Americans who break our tax laws, they should be audited or held accountable?
Well, I think there are two things there. An audit is not a result of breaking the law.
Yes or no? Simple question.
Well, no, it's not a simple question. It's
okay,
a two-part
then
question.
let me break it into two. Do you think they should?
If you're asking me,
please don't
should every
interrupt
taxpayer
me.
be audited?
Please answer that. I came here for answers. If you came here to waste time, I'm going to try to make sure you don't do that. Do you believe that people who lie on their tax returns should be audited?
Yes.
Okay, do you think that people who break our laws should be held accountable, our tax laws?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Very simple. Not a hard question.
No.
I'm glad we agree. So why is it that you are allowing President Trump to have complete immunity from being audited?
Again, I'm going to have to refer you to my previous statements. And
what was your previous statement, sir?
That I am unable to comment on any of the ongoing litigation.
Okay, can you name the ongoing case concerning President Trump's immunity from audit?
Sorry?
Can you name?
There are three cases.
Can you name them, please?
That are out there now, and I will be happy to get back to you on those, because again, I am not a lawyer.
Okay.
We are represented by the DOJ.
Great. You said that you can't because there's ongoing litigation. You'll get me the name of the ongoing litigation, because the only ongoing litigation that I know of is surrounding the $1.8 million slush fund, which has already been suspended. The fact is that the judge's ruling in the litigation that references that slush fund only addresses the anti-weaponization fund. It doesn't even address Trump's immunity from audit. So I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the judge's order in the Floyd versus Department of Justice case.
Without objection.
Thank you. Now, Secretary, you said you're not an attorney, is that correct?
Mercifully.
Okay, well, I am, and I'm actually proud to be an attorney and know the laws, and I know how to read a judicial ruling. Furthermore, I know that since 1962, the Supreme Court has held that ongoing litigation does not prevent someone from testifying in a congressional hearing. So once again, I'm going to ask, why are you allowing President Trump and his family to have complete immunity from being audited?
Again, since you're a lawyer, you will understand that the U.S. Treasury and the IRS are represented by the Justice Department and the Acting Attorney General.
Yes, but I just mentioned a Supreme Court case that doesn't bar you from testifying. It's pretty clear to me, though, however, that you're not interested in answering questions. You're interested in arguing. Let me ask you this question. If President Biden amended a prior tax return and claimed that he was owed $1 billion, do you think that that would be audited, or should it be audited?
I'm not going to talk about any.
Because you're not really here to answer questions. I don't understand why you wouldn't audit that, and I don't understand why you wouldn't do the same for President Trump. So the ruling by the Justice Department,
do you have specific knowledge of an audit of President Trump?
Excuse me. It's my time. You're not here to ask me questions. I'm here to ask you questions, and hopefully you're here to try to answer some of them. I'm curious to know who counts as Trump's family for the purposes of this immunity. Is it his children, his in-laws, his grandchildren, his second or third cousin, his great-great-grandchildren? Do you know the answer to that question, Mr. Secretary?
Again, I imagine you have the Justice Department phone number. I suggest you call them.
I'm not the one that runs the Department of the Treasury or that oversees what is happening with this immunity that has been granted.
I'm not the one either. We follow the instructions of our lawyers, and we obey the law,
I hope
Representative.
that you're proud of your performance today, Mr. Secretary, because
I hope you get some social media
it's pretty
clips.
safe to say that this is probably the most corrupt Treasury Department in our nation's history. And while you dance around questions to protect Trump, Americans are suffering in Trump's spiraling economy. Inflation is now rising faster than average hourly wages.
Nah.
Gas prices are at an all-time high with the war in Iran. The cost of groceries has risen 3.2% over the past years, and prices on most goods have gone up because of Trump's tariffs. So I don't see how you could call that anything other than a failure of the most corrupt Treasury Department in history.
Your time has expired, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you. My time has expired.
Secretary, I would love for you to respond to the accusations at your department, because I think you are due the opportunity for that.
The Congresswoman is slanderous. She has nothing but the unsubstantiated opinions, and I will not stand for that. There is nothing corrupt. We move at the highest levels, and just because she cannot get the answer she wants, if she would like to give me facts, she seems long on facts, short on facts, long on hot air, and I will not stand for that. Yeah, that's great.
This hearing escalated fast. What started as a simple line of questioning about tax enforcement turned into one of the most heated exchanges of the day on Capitol Hill. The Congresswoman began with a straightforward premise. Should Americans follow tax laws? The Treasury Secretary agreed. Should people who break tax laws be held accountable? Again, he agreed. But then came the real issue. She pressed him repeatedly on allegations surrounding President Trump's audit status and questioned why, in her view, there appeared to be special treatment. The Secretary refused to engage directly, repeatedly citing ongoing litigation and legal guidance from government attorneys. That answer clearly wasn't enough. The Congresswoman pushed back hard, arguing that ongoing litigation does not automatically prevent testimony before Congress. She challenged the Secretary to identify specific cases he was referencing and accused him of avoiding the substance of her questions. As the exchange intensified, the hearing shifted from policy to confrontation. At one point, she suggested the Treasury Department was failing to provide transparency. The Secretary responded by emphasizing that Treasury follows legal guidance from the Department of Justice and acts within the law. Neither side appeared willing to back down. Then the debate expanded beyond audits and into the economy. The Congresswoman criticized rising costs facing Americans, pointing to inflation, grocery prices, and tariffs. She argued that Americans are struggling financially and blamed current economic policies for worsening those pressures. The Secretary strongly rejected those criticisms. After her time expired, the confrontation became even more dramatic. The Secretary responded directly to her remarks, dismissing them as unsubstantiated political attacks and defending the integrity of the Treasury Department. Moments later, another member of Congress joined the fight, accusing Democrats of hypocrisy and shifting the discussion toward immigration, crime, and economic policies under previous administrations. What makes this hearing significant isn't just the sharp rhetoric. It's what it reveals about the broader political battle playing out in Washington. One side argues that government officials should provide more direct answers about politically sensitive investigations and oversight issues. The other side argues that legal constraints in ongoing cases limit what officials can publicly discuss. And as voters watch these exchanges, they're left to decide a fundamental question. Was this a legitimate demand for accountability? Or was it political theater designed to generate headlines? No matter where you stand politically, one thing is undeniable. This hearing delivered exactly what congressional oversight hearings rarely lack: conflict, tension, and a confrontation that neither side seemed willing to end quietly. And judging by the reaction in the room, this debate is far from over. What do you think? Was the Secretary avoiding the question, or was he right to rely on legal guidance? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoy congressional hearings, political accountability, and major Washington moments, subscribe and turn on notifications for more coverage.